Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Tranquil Waters by Stevie. Welcome back to the lovely month of June, where we are working on planting carrots, learning new things. Isn't life fun when you learn new things? Happy Wednesday? Yeah, I think it is Wednesday. Recording this Tuesday night. So I am here on our recently planted carrot field. Just for a quick discussion, after the episode yesterday, I did a little forum browsing, which is very dangerous for me because I usually walk away irritated. But I ran across some information that I thought was kind of interesting, and thought I would share it. You may already know this, but for some, maybe not so much. So as you can see, we took the time and effort to put down ridges. Some people call them hills, ridges. I'll call them ridges. So we took the time to do that. And we leased a couple of ridgers, hillers. I'm just going to say ridgers. I'm sorry if that irritates you. But we leased a couple of ridgers. We did our due diligence, and we planted, and the ridges are gone. They disappeared. And we've got this funky looking green leafy pattern here that I just didn't think looked right. Well, evidently this is what I have been told. This is what I have read, is because of the way I prepared the soil with the cultivator I used, this is what we get. Had I used a standard cultivator instead of a shallow cultivator, prior to doing ridging, we would be in good shape. There's only one problem I have with that, and that is as follows. This is not shown as a shallow cultivator. It is called a cultivator. But that is the only reason I found why we should be seeing this texture, is if I shallow cultivated. Now, if you know differently, please let me know in the comments. I'm trying to learn and figure this out, but that's the only thing I could come up with as to why we're seeing this and not something that looks kind of more like, we don't have carrots, but kind of more like this. The way these onions, not onions, sorry. Onions, they look like onions to me. The way, they are onions, sorry. The way these onions look, I did have that right. Should look like that. There should be ridges. There should be little seedlings planted in there. Maybe even this is a better representation. These red beets. Maybe they should look more like this, okay? So what I chose to do, because I just don't understand that cultivator is not listed, that horse cultivator is not listed as a shallow cultivator. It's listed as a cultivator. So what I've decided to do is we had one more field that we needed to cultivate. So I leased, what is this, a Hokerling? I think it is, a Hokerling. That is also listed as a standard cultivator. Okay? Just to try and see if this is going to make any difference at all. I don't know if it's going to, but you know what? Part of this is just a learning thing for me, is a little bit of experimenting to see if, to see what's going on, basically, because something's not right. Now, it also could be other things. It could be maybe there's a bug with the premium expansion pack. I've been reading about some kind of funky things, and maybe that's what it is. So maybe it'll be corrected in a patch. Maybe it's a combination of this map with the premium DLC. I don't know. It could be something as simple as that. It could even be a mod. I don't know. I'm not really ruling anything out. But what I do know is we're wasting our time ridging. So we're not gonna. Because this whole field right here was also cultivated with that same horse cultivator that obviously isn't playing nicely with the ridgers. So we're not gonna do any more ridging. We did a few rows here, and on the other side we did a couple rows, and I'm putting the kibosh on that. Carrots are selected. Let's go ahead and hire out to get some carrots harvesting. Now look at that. Holy cow. That just completely has thrown off my game. That's what we should be seeing. And that's with the same cultivator. Right? That looks right. I swapped out the tires on our 4755 just to make it look a little more, I don't know, normal when it comes to seating. Let's select carrots. Let's hire out. Yeah, we're not getting that funky texture. Okay. Now I don't understand. Now I am truly at a loss. I don't understand. I was not expecting that. The cultivator that I used on this field is the same cultivator that I used on this field with a completely different outcome. Unless I did something that I forget. Unless I did something else wrong or something. I don't know. That's bizarro. All right. Well, I'm still not going to worry about ridging. Here's another thing that I found out about ridging and fertilizer. If you remember, I mentioned, and maybe you guys are aware of this, but with fertilizing, you're supposed to get, if you ridge, you're supposed to get a layer of fertilizer. Well, this is what I have also discovered. Number one, it probably doesn't work with precision farming. Most people are reporting they're not getting that result with precision farming, so it probably needs an update. Precision farming probably needs an update. Not a big deal. I'm not super concerned about that. But I also found out that if we did want to have the fertilizing layer, so to speak, you have to use this combination of the 3-meter jobber. So you have to use this guy with a 3-point, and you have to use this guy attached to it. Then you will get fertilizer, a fertilizing layer. If you use the 6-meter like we did, regardless of whether you're using precision farming or not, you're not going to get free fertilizer from it. So there's that. All right, I guess that's all I've learned. I know that I may be going over stuff that you all know already. But that's what I have found out since we last met. I'm still confused about our field right here as to why it's got this texture. I was told that texture happens if you do shallow cultivating, which I didn't do. At least not that I know of. So this is probably a waste of time. But it needed to be cultivated anyways, so I guess in a way, what the heck, right? Now, this I understand too, because we didn't ridge. Boy, it puts that seed down slow, doesn't it? Because we didn't ridge, we're not going to get any kind of special. We're not going to get ridges from this cedar, which is fine too. It is what it is. All right, so what we need to do now is this puppy here needs to finish up with the cultivating, because we are going to ridge this field. I figure since my plans have kind of changed a bit now, though, because it's actually working. It's working better on our field than I thought it would. So on field 2, it's working the way it's supposed to. That's interesting. Well, I hope you're having a better week with Farming Simulator than I am. Hey, you know what? Live and learn and experiment. I like experimenting. I think it's part of the fun of the game is to experiment and find new ways of doing things. Sometimes find better ways of doing things. Getting you all advice from you all. You guys always help with good advice. It's hard to try and figure some of these things out sometimes if there are known issues too. So I'm kind of writing some of it up to maybe the game just needs a little bit of a patch on some of these things. I think that's probably part of it as well. It seems that more people are confirming that they're getting some weirdness from some inconsistencies, let's say, with the new crop types that aren't making a great deal of sense. So hopefully we'll see that make things a little less confusing, at least for me. That would be nice. So what am I picking up here? This is the Horsch transformer hoe. We need to do some weeding. This is our only available tractor at the moment. We need to do some weeding, so I grabbed the Horsch transformer, painted it up with pretty purple. Was able to do that because of that mod that I did a mod minute or so on. It's that, I don't know, I forget what it's called, the Horsch DLC extension pack. I think it's called something along those lines. Now this transformer hoe is one of its specialties, I guess you could say, is it is supposed to follow ridge lines, the ridges made. It's supposed to have kind of built into it to auto align with ridges. Now, obviously, we don't have ridges here any longer. We've lost them. But it still needs to be weeded, and according to this, it needs a hoe to do so. Which is kind of interesting because we just planted it. Normally, you don't need a hoe for that first, just after planting. But I'm guessing that's because it is a root crop. Another thing that I thought was interesting too is that Giants, I guess, figured out was there is no need for rolling on carrots, red beets. I'm assuming on red beets and parsnips as well. So I'm glad they got that corrected. As you know, I believe potatoes still ask to be rolled. And I believe maybe even sugar beets still ask to be rolled, which neither one of those crops should be rolled, or should have the need to be rolled. Let's see what our hoe does. It's kind of hard to tell if indeed it's really doing anything. But it is, getting rid of those. Weed be gone. How are you doing, my friend? Working on the headlands, you're almost done. That's good news. Our seeders are plugging away. We've got 2 of them working on this field just to help knock it out a little bit faster. Let's get our little New Holland ridger set up to get busy. see how that does. We'll go into create a job. There you are. You don't have a job assigned to you already, do you? No, you don't. Good. Okay. So create a job. CP fieldwork. There we go. How does it work to do headlands with a ridger? Does it just... Oh, you know what? Yeah, it'll make the ridges the other way, won't it? I believe it does do that. Because I think I remember seeing a picture before the premium pack was released, and it showed carrots being with headlands, and it actually showed that the carrots were lined up in a headland fashion, if I'm saying that right, if you understand where I'm going with that. We're not going to do any headlands. At least we're going to try not to. Let's generate a course. And we need to wait for... Oh, Brad, why do you do that? You always do the quick click on the wrong thing. 0 headlands. Generate a course. That looks lovely, doesn't it? Let's go ahead. This is what I wanted. Yeah, we'll try and get away with no headlands for our ridger. So yeah, sometimes, you jump into something like this, you try it out, you see you see how it goes, and it doesn't always work out the best. I mean, carrots are still getting planted, so it's not a big deal. It's just a little bit confusing. I don't know why it would matter between cultivating and shallow cultivating. I don't know what, to be honest, what the difference there would be and why there would be a difference, but if the game says so, the game says so. I do like the look of the ridges better, though, I must say. If I had a choice, I would prefer oh man, this 4755 is just a beast. I would prefer seeing ridges if it were up to me. However, when it comes to potato chips, I must say I'm not as big a fan of the rippled potato chips as I am the standard variety of potato chips. Unless I'm dipping. If I'm dipping, then I want the ripples because they strengthen the chip. But if I'm not dipping and I'm just having potato chips maybe with a burger or something, yeah, give me plain. Give me the plain Jane variety. Alright, looks like we're getting close to wrapping up this cultivating. I think we can go ahead and kick off our little buddy here. Beauty. And we'll get some ridging done on this field and see what results we get when we go to plant, if indeed it keeps our ridges or says goodbye to our ridges. You are hoeing, you are doing a lovely job. Your seeding, we're probably going to have to fill, yeah, we're probably going to have to fill our seeders up. I'm amazed, I'm impressed with how far these seeders can go. For as much as they hold, it seems like you wouldn't get nearly as far with them as we do, but they hold out pretty well. Alright, let's get rid of you, my friend. And actually, we can return this thing. We no longer need your services. Thank you, though. You're very kind. So, I don't know. I think for a lot of people, too, maybe it doesn't really even matter with the ridges or not ridges. I think I would be curious to find out what the breakdown is for farming simulator players. Oh, hello. Hello, Riverboat. For farming simulator players, I would be interested to know what the breakdown is. If people, like how many people actually take the time to make the ridges and then plant and you know, go through the proper channels, or how many people versus how many people just kind of do a shortcut path, you know, and kind of just do the planting without ridges just like this and just get it into the ground. I'd be curious. And then I was looking at because eventually we're going to have to harvest these things, right? What are you doing? You have decided to skip that row altogether? Is that your game plan? I didn't choose row skipping. Yeah, it looks like it just kind of said, that's kind of bizarre. Oh, look at that. Is it row skipping? Did I have skip every row? Maybe I did have skip every other. Oh, I did do a row skip. Okay. I didn't notice. All right. That's my bad. You're doing okay. Carry on, my friend. But eventually we are going to need to harvest these lovely carrots. And a lot of carrots, indeed, it will be. So then I started looking into options for harvesting. Now, if we had, if we were doing a series where it's kind of take your time, you know, maybe take 3 episodes to harvest a field of carrots, it actually might be kind of fun, if I'm being honest with you. I think this is kind of cool. I like these carrot harvesters. I think they're pretty slick. But these are 1-row jobbers. Is this the one that requires the crate? Which one do you have to get a crate? This one? Or is this the one I was just looking at? One of these stinking things requires the crate, right? Combination. Just weights. Am I looking at the wrong one? Huh, maybe I'm looking at the wrong one. I thought for sure one of these required the vegetable crate to be bought. And you fill up the crate, you drop the crate, you know, that kind of a number. But I'm not certain that I... Or wait, is this one? Is that where does the crate go? Oh, no. Just looking at how this thing works. So you're driving along. They come up here. Maybe this is the crate one. Right here. It might very well be. I'm saying crate. I kind of mean, you know, pallet. This guy here. And my understanding is, too... there probably needs to be some price adjustments made, because I saw somewhere that you buy these pallets for $130 a piece, right? But when you go to sell your carrots, the game reimburses you more than what you paid for the pallet. I'm not sure if that is the case or not. This is what I've been reading. People are listing it as a little bonus way to make more money. I haven't done it yet, so I can't really attest to it, but that's my understanding of what I've read, at least. But I do like these extra crops. I like this. Believe it or not, with this learning and making mistakes along the way, or just figuring things out, or learning, how to get around things, and maybe waiting for a patch, because I do believe we're going to see a patch for some of these oddities. But this keeps the game going and fresh. It's like the mods, where now you can do carrots, but now you have to learn the best way to do them, and maybe the best functional way for you to do them, the way you enjoy doing them the most, and parsnips and red beets. And yeah, for me, it's all a plus. It's frustrating in the fact that, in a fun way, if that makes any sense at all. It's frustrating in a fun way. It's not frustrating in a take my Razer keyboard and throw it across the room frustrating way. I could never do that anyways, and I've seen some of these videos of these rage quits and things like that. Now, I don't know if some of them I am assuming are for show, for views, maybe get a viral video because you smashed your keyboard, and people haha kind of thing. But I'm sorry, but these things cost too much. I'm not gonna get mad enough to just throw $150 out the window because I got upset that I got, shot in a video game or something else bad happened. It's just, things are too expensive, man. Control your temper, save money. That's the best way I could look at it. Oh boy. Oh, you're done? Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. And if figuring out these issues wasn't enough, and just kind of dealing with whatever it may be, that field is going to bug me, by the way. It's just my OCD thing. But this field right here, that's going to bug me. I don't know, did I record any preparation on that field? I'll have to go back and look if I did that in-game or in video, or if I did that offline. Because I'm about 90%, 99% sure that I used our standard Horsch cultivator on that field. Now I'm beginning to wonder too is, this was a... No, I think that field and this field were both barley. So they had the same previous crop on there too. Huh. Well, if it wasn't enough to deal with this, I've also been playing around with, as you all know, I have mentioned probably on too many occasions that you're probably tired of hearing about it, in fact. Oh, I thought I saw needs rolling. That's from the old one. Okay. I'm like, call me a liar again. That looks like a really big bird took a really big dump. Yeah, this is where my mind goes. Weeds growing hoe. Let's try out our hoe. Let's see if this thing actually tracks these ridges. I'm curious to see it. I've never done that. I've never tried it. Again, not exactly the proper tractor to be using for this. And most certainly not the proper tires. I don't think this tractor has any... Yeah, I think that's as thin as it's gonna go. Engine setup. Yeah, we're not gonna get skinnier tires on this thing. So supposedly this bad boy follows the ridges. The ribbon, the ridges. Let's see how well it actually does with that. I am curious to see it in action. Now, supposedly, if I steer a little off, yeah, I'm not sure if I'm seeing what I'm supposed to be seeing. It does look like it's locking into, the ridges okay, though, if I'm looking at that correctly. Yeah, I think it kind of is. Of course, I'm driving all over the road. Interesting. Well, let's turn this bad boy around because I've missed half the field because I was being silly. And on top of everything else, I have been messing around with my graphic settings again because of the deterioration of frame rate that I'm experiencing in this map. I have increased my frame rate, however, I am noticing during this episode a bit of a stutter that has returned. So I believe I have fixed one issue and introduced another problem, so I'm going to be taking a look at that. It never ends. I think it just never ends. No hired helper? Oh. Why don't you want to hire help? That's interesting. Why no hired helper? No field found. Well, there's a field right here. Did I have this problem with this tractor? Was that this? It was this tractor, wasn't it? That I had that problem with. Oh, yeah. I think I tried using this guy with the cultivator and the hired hand, in-game hired helper, and it would not do it. Wouldn't do it. Would not do it. All right, maybe I'll swap tractors out. How are we doing here? 2%? You stopped because you're empty? Why don't we do this? Let me get this turned on before you run out. Actually, you know what? You're almost done. Can I get to it before time runs out? I doubt it. Seeds. On. Ooh, I think I just made it. Yeah, I did just make it. All right, good. I'll let the helper buy the rest of the seeds that we need in order to finish this field off, because I'm not really in any particular hurry to stop it. And actually, that helper can finish seeding this field. Oh, I'm out of your way, sorry. We'll have to double check on him because he might get a little bit thrown off with a half a row we did with our John Deere here. But what we can do, yeah, I'm getting a little bit of a stutter that I wasn't getting before. That may just be a little bit of a shader cache thing that needs to build up, because I did make some changes, and I did make a few changes in the graphic settings, and that oftentimes does spring up a bit of a shader cache rebuild. So let's bring you on over to our field over here, and we can get you ready to do some seeding. I'll be very curious to see actually we can let's give it a quick test before we say goodbye, just to see, just for funsies. Let's give it a quick test. Let's find a nicely ridged row, rut row, a nice ridged row. And let's just see for fun. Carrots are selected. I'm lowering my weight. I don't want to lower my weight. I want to lower you. Thank you. And let's see what happens. Beauty. All right, well, basically that means just the one field. Just the one field is kind of goofy. And you know what? I'll take that. Just field 3. And I don't know why. But otherwise, it looks like the rest of them, whoopsie. It looks like the rest of them are going to play nicely. We're going to keep our ridges. I want to keep the ridges. All right, everyone. I'm going to let you all go. Uh-oh. Where are you going, buddy? You're making me a little nervous. Oh, is that the half a row that... Uh-oh. Let's see where we're at here. Where's our carrots? Carrots, carrots. Oh, no, maybe he's figuring this is all that's left. I think he's figuring it out. I think you got it, dude. I think Tank Top Dude for the win. Absolutely Tank Top Dude for the win. Nice. All right, everyone. I'm going to let you go. I appreciate you checking it out. Once again, visiting me on RQS Gaming. Thanks for your patience as I learn and experiment my way through these new crops. I do appreciate that. And of course, as always, feel free to leave me any suggestions, ideas, knowledge that you have. I always like to hear from you. I always like to learn something new. And if I can learn from you rather than the forums, I will probably also be healthier for it. But thanks, everyone. You take care of yourselves. We will be... Ooh, I think we'll be... where will we be tomorrow? We've got a contract somewhere. I think we're going to be in Pennsylvania, if I'm not mistaken. I think we're going to be in Bucks County, is what it's called, right? Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Look at those little weeds right there, little stinkers. And I think we're going to be doing a... See, I say think because it's been a couple, 2, 3, 4 days since I've looked at it. But I believe we're going to be doing a cultivating job out on Bucks County, PA, if I'm not mistaken. So join me if you would. That would be great. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video or just flat out enjoy watching me make mistakes. That is awesome. Feel free to join or become a member. Subscribe, all that fun stuff, and check out our Discord. And I will see you all tomorrow, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Take care. Bye for now.